It's the NFL on EA Sports, and we've got ourselves a Super Bowl VIII rematch. It's the Minnesota Vikings and the Miami Dolphins under the lights on Sunday night.
On a muggy night here. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
This guy's leadership is so important to how this offense functions. He doesn't shrink from any moments on game day, and everything he does with confidence. He sets the example in practice, off the field, and is the guy leading everyone out for each possession.
On play action, here's Tua. He'll get this to his tight end. It's Jonnu Smith. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Goes right back to Smith again. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's second and a yard. From the gun, it's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up first and 10 at the 30-yard line. In motion, Hill. Play action. Now it's Tua. Over the middle, complete. It's Smith. Heck of a broken tackle and able to work this down near the 23. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
I don't think either one of us is surprised about who they just targeted on that one. I mean, they're going to try and get to him as much as possible. Off to a nice start, but unable to haul that one in.
Yeah, already looked his way a couple of times on this opening drive. Can't connect there. Motion man is Berrios. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. He'll dump this off to Achane. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a fourth down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
So fourth down, Tua departs, and on is Jason Sanders and the Dolphin field goal unit. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. The kick by Sanders is good, and the opening drive for the Dolphins yields 3. I think we can safely say they came out to be aggressive on the opening series, Charles. They didn't run the ball once. All that passing, it does get them the 3-0 lead.
I think what we saw there, partner, was a true definition of football balance, which means doing what you want to when you want to on offense. And in this case, it was throwing the football. They may mix in running the football a little bit more as this game goes on. But this opening drive, while it stalled out, it still gave them 3 points.
After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. Under center, it'll be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
And the thing with Sam Darnold is we know the skill set is there. May not be the most mobile or strongest arm quarterback in the league, but usually plays with really good poise, and at his best, like a point guard in basketball, able to move around and distribute the rock.
Darnold. Open man is Jalen Naylor. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 41. Here's Darnold. Got a man that's caught at the 6-yard line. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Jalen Naylor, 41 yards. And the Vikings have answered that early field goal to take a first-quarter lead. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye.
He just takes off and goes, and I think that's what we just saw there.
Point after, right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So Miami coming out for their second drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll run. Here's Devon Achane. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Ball on the 28-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 9. Achane here. They stay on the ground. It's a gain of 6. Moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Third and 2. They'll run for it with Achane. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. He'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A good pickup there, a 22.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, right at the 40. Tua sets up to pass it. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Jonathan Greenard running in to pick up the sack. Well, he was really focused downfield, but there was really no viable options. The coverage was too good.
And the defense really quickened the tempo of that play with their pass rush because there was nowhere for him to go with the football. The only place he ended up, down on the ground.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
Achane gets it from the gun. Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. And he'll get this into the hands of Hill, complete. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Tyreek Hill, 30 yards.
And the Dolphins are once again back in front.
When we draw up defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Darnold from the gun. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
On 3rd down, you'll give them that. You just want to make sure that you play the 1st down line. And they were able to get him down and force the punt.
So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Malik Washington deep for Miami.
Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at their own 15.
Waddle, the motion man, right. Here's Achane to start the drive.
And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. The corner, Stephon Gilmore, on the stop.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Right back to Achane on 2nd down.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Yeah, you only get a 1-yard buffer there from the line of scrimmage, and he got downfield a little too far, and the flag came out. Here's 3rd and 7.
Now Tua.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. (10-7) our score after 1 right here on EA Sports. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane.
And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, they came up with points in their first 2 possessions, but it looks like they'll come up empty here on their 3rd drive. The defense finally starting to get locked into them a little bit. Might have to go a little bit deeper into their playbook on their next possession.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away.
And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Jones. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 2 first downs, and that moves the ball to the 42 now, 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw, Darnold. And he is caught. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 24-yard line. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Here's Darnold.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10.
They go back to the ground with Jones.
40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Playing against a 3-4 front is really challenging for offensive linemen because they can do so many different things. But when you're running the football, if you can handle the nose tackle up front and then maybe a guard can slide up to the 2nd level and block a linebacker, that's when you have success running the football.
A shotgun snap for Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10.
Just shy of the 30.
Hand off to Achane to begin the drive.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's 2nd and 3.
Tua going to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Jonathan Grenard. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Here's Tua.
Open man is Waddle, complete.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. Darnold now to throw.
That's complete to Justin Jefferson.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
To throw is Darnold. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Now Darnold. Open man is Naylor. He's got it. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Now it's Darnold. And incomplete, a drop there in the middle third of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. To throw on 2nd and 10. Darnold.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Back to throw again. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The coverage good that time by Kendall Fuller.
That could have been a huge play, but give the defender credit. Stayed calm, stayed collected, and kept himself in a position to make a play on the ball without a penalty.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
Well, the Dolphins offense and Tyreek Hill set to take over once more. And it may be time for this defense to start throwing a second defender his way, because whatever they've done, it has not worked in this first half. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And leading 10-7, and they may just want to get this to the locker room.
Short throw to Smith. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Going to the air, Tagovailoa.
Throw caught by Achane.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. In motion, Hill. On play action, here's Tua.
Now throw out wide, going to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Here's 2nd and 10.
From midfield, here's Tua. Flush to his right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua.
And the pressure gets there, and Tua is going to be taken down.
And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We now proceed to the start of the second half. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. A good, tight football game thus far. 10-7 the score as we resume action on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Darnold. That's over the middle. He finds Naylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Up the middle, Jones. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Darnold. And that's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They're giving him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
2nd and 10.
Play action. It's Darnold.
Pass complete to Addison.
And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins 16. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
An inside give to Jones. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Aaron Jones.
A 16-yard touchdown run.
And the Vikings have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
Well, solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up, meaning when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. So the drive there took 6 plays. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half.
And, Charles, it feels like we're set up for a good second half here. Came out of the locker room, one-score game. Now the lead has already changed hands. Well, this offense, they've got an opportunity right now to take that lead right back.
Yeah, and it feels like you're going back and forth, almost a little bit like a tennis match, right? And we're just, our heads just keep moving. Which side has it? Which side's going to score? How are they going to go out doing it? A little bit of a challenge for each side, trying to match each other.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, every lineman knows the rule. You only get a 1-yard buffer beyond that line of scrimmage, and then the flag is thrown, and he got tagged for it there.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
He'll get it here on the jet sweep.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Right back to Achane on second down.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Here's 3rd and 10.
In motion, Hill. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt.
And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense and Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the 3rd quarter.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. A give to Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially nothing on that one. No gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
But based on the play we just saw there, he might not be the guy you want to challenge in coverage on these all-important snaps. He certainly looks dialed in right now.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he's on to punt for Minnesota. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? and that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown.
Devon Achane.
69 yards.
And the Dolphins have taken the lead here this third quarter.
Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Sanders now to add the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Oh, good-looking return set up here.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
A play fake, and it's Darnold.
A quick throw there is incomplete.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Darnold from the gun. Escaping the pressure right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Well, he and his offense were staring down what was likely a 3-and-out. Zero fear from his side, though. Never doubted for a second they pick up the first. He's ready to pull the trigger on a keeper the moment it revealed itself.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Back to throw, Darnold.
Open man, that's Month, the tight end.
First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. On the tackle there, Zach Sealer out of Ferris State.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
So from the 37, here's a 2nd down and 9.
Here's Darnold. Addison hauls it in. A good gain of 9 before he's brought down at the 28.
I'll give him credit there. Nice job on the drag route. Bring the receiver across the field, hoping he can catch it in stride and turn it up. He was able to do just that, although he's just a little bit short of the first down.
This will be the 8th play of the drive, and it's 3rd and inches.
In motion right is Addison.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. So they dial up the blitz on 3rd and inches. It pays off.
And frankly, they were probably dialing up a run blitz, expecting him to run it in that situation. But instead, they end up back at the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This from 54 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And that will tie things at 17 all. So as it turns out, that sack doesn't wind up costing them, Charles. They at least get points, get 3 of them.
Yeah, that's where your kicker can really come to your rescue because, you know, after the sack, there was a little consternation there. Are we out of field goal range? Are we going to be able to get 3? In this case, he stepped right up and gave them exactly what they needed.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. Back now here on EA Sports. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. All even as we get ready to start the 4th.
Now Achane on 1st and 10.
And some room to roam now.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then? You take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10.
Up the middle, Achane.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. So 3rd down, but you got to think they'd like to get closer, even in a dome with good kicking conditions for a possible field goal. Now Tua. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Jonathan Grenard bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. He'll drop to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
But plain and simple, that's the second time today that he's dropped a pass.
And that one, I think, maybe even a little easier than the earlier one that he dropped. Surprising.
Was this game announced as a night game prior to, and maybe his rhythm is just off? He's got thrown off. He's got to wake up, enjoy the sunshine, and go play.
Darnold now to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line.
Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Majors used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
The Dolphins offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. After the turnover, it's Tua. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
I do think it's fair to say that they were caught off guard a little bit when he decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit, they recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short, so that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
Waddle, the motion man right. Running right, here's Achane.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. In motion, Hill. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
And now they'll stop play here, at least momentarily. A member of the Vikings in some discomfort after that last play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment.
So a big one coming now for Jason Sanders. This to break our fourth quarter tie. Sanders' kick is good, and the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
after the field goal. Here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Out of the backfield, this is Aaron Jones. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
The give is to Jones.
And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
This will be fielded at the 17. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And out will come the offense as they take over.
The Dolphins offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes. And he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. A little less than 4 minutes remaining. And the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw.
Now he's into the clear again.
And finally taken down at the 35-yard line.
At least this time he's getting hit after a positive play for his offense. The pressure was coming through yet again, but he certainly didn't stick around for the sack on this occasion. Found an escape route and ended up getting the first down before taking the hit.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down. Back to throw is Tua. And this is going to be incomplete.
You still hold your breath a little as a defense when Tua gets out of the pocket. You're worried about him scrambling and getting a first down. But there, he made the wise call. If there's nothing downfield, just throw it away.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to swell the lead to 6. Sanders' kick is good, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. After the field goal, here comes Sanders to kick it away.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line.
So Sam Darnold in the offense. Down by 6. Just over a minute 40 to play. They need a touchdown. A field goal is worthless now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Darnold throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Here's Darnold. Pass complete. It's Hockenson.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
But Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Just the one timeout remaining as they try to navigate this 2-minute drill. 1st and 10. Now Darnold. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, these corners, I tell you, they've done excellent work all game long.
They remind me of guys in the past who just said, hey, throw it out here 100 times. Nothing good is going to happen. And if you throw it in the wrong place, I'll take it the other way.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Darnold to throw.
Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
Well, here's a big one. You can just feel it. This is 3rd down now.
Now Darnold.
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Now they can only stop it once more. Here's 1st and 10.
Now it's Darnold. He'll find Jones again, complete. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Second and 6 coming up.
Darnold.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
With no timeouts left, that's a dangerous proposition working the middle of the field. Fortunately for them, that one fell incomplete.
Here now, third down. Darnold now to throw. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
9 seconds, no timeouts left. That throw right side here going to be incomplete.
And a great game comes down to this. Time for one play, and they've got to get it in the end zone.
And I want every cover guy I've got in the game on defense, every extra defensive back who can make a play on the football. So whether it's nickel, dime, quarter, whatever you want to call it, I want 5, 6, 7 guys back there.
One last throw now for Darnold. And this is incomplete. So no miracles here on the final play. And this ball game is over.
It all came down to one final jump ball on the Hail Mary, but partner, the defense was ready, able to force it to be incomplete. Ball game over.
Look, let's face it, everybody wants to work the ball in closer and take a more high percentage pass to try and tie the game. But the Hail Mary, that's what they had to work with. And now they're just hoping that their jumpers can get up higher and are stronger than the defenders. Not the case in this instance. They end up losing the game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody.